You guys have set up camp across from the kobold nest. You've met Shaw's mother, who gave you a small idol of a kobold. Um, she didn't tell you what it was for. She just gave it to you. So it could be any number of things. Um, as you guys set up camp and settle down for the night, who's are you guys going to take watch, or are you guys going to trust that the kobolds are not going to be aggressive?
No, I'll trust in the kobolds not being aggressive. But we should take watch anyways because it's good practice. So I'll take first watch.
Okay. That is so. Let's see here. Um, okay. Let me see if this rolls correctly. Yes, it does. Okay. So go ahead and make your watch. Go ahead and make your perception for the watch. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So your first watch goes pretty much unhindered. You do see kobolds moving around out of the corner of your eye. They're not bothering you guys. They're just doing their nightly kobold things. You see them like dragging things back to their uh, their hole, and like judging from the weight, like the way they're moving, they're probably dragging prey back to their clan.
Well, that's fine.
They do stop and like stare at you guys every now and then,
I'll
but they
wave at
don't
him.
approach you. And they don't try to bother you.
Just wave at
What,
him,
bud?
and 2 hours later, I'll wake up Brian. Brian, wake up!
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take over second watch.
Make
Okay.
sure you do watch, not just pray to the shillelagh or whatever your gun is.
Yeah, I'll wave dismissively and do the second watch.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
sleep in Brian's sleeping bag.
Oh, dick move.
I don't think you'll fit in Brian's sleeping bag.
That's
Yeah,
true.
maybe on
Oh,
top of
you have to
it.
pick one.
No, I'll
Here.
sleep in my own sleeping bag. I'm so little. You'll wake me up if I do that.
No, I honestly wouldn't care if you even tried.
Okay.
Maybe just toss
Should,
small
do
little
you want me to
kobold
do
pieces.
perception as well, or
Yes, please.
all right?
All right.
Grummel just
Um,
wears Shaggit's or Brian's sleeping bag as like a hat the whole night.
No, a shawl. There
all
we
right.
go.
So your watch goes without hitch as well until about midnight-ish. You see a small form dart behind these rocks up here, and as you kind of like look, you see a young like a hey, Reese. I'm busy at the moment, but what? Here, here. Go ahead and pick one. You see a small figure dart behind the rocks up here. It appears to be a young kobold, and he is eyeing you guys intently.
I'm gonna be mindful of him, but not press him or let him know that I know he's there. I'm just gonna shift my perspective in that general direction
Okay.
in case, just to make sure nothing like untoward happens to Flame, who I assume is closest to him. Just by the way our icons are laid out.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So I am gonna hold a pebble in my hands with the intention that if shit hits the fan, I'm just gonna throw it at Flame to wake him up.
Okay. Um, as you kind of keep watch, the kobold doesn't realize he's been seen. You see him very slowly, very quietly sneak up on the sleeping form of Flame. He doesn't go for Flame. He goes for his pack. You see him start like trying to very quietly rummage through the pack.
Oh, at that, I'm throwing the pebble at the kobold.
Okay, make a ranged attack.
Okay.
It's not going to be a high DC because this guy doesn't have an AC. So
Yeah, I just typed in pebble in a range attack, so there's not going to be any
no modifiers. Yeah.
no, there's no damage like attached to
Yeah.
this,
No.
but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You huck the rock at him. It slaps him in the back of the head, and he like snaps his hands up and looks around, and he sees you, and like he yips and goes scurrying back towards the hole.
I'm gonna pick up another pebble and do nothing. I'm just gonna let that be. Like, I caught you. You're done. Go away. That's it.
Let me see if he made off with anything. I need to look at your sheet for a moment, Flame. So don't mind me. Inventory. Okay, so I have a few options here that I can roll for. So I'm going to do that.
Most likely gold, because that's most of my backpack.
Yeah.
Here's some soup.
Thank you, bud.
Eat it.
Nom.
No, drink it.
I'm not going to drink that.
It's soup.
You don't.
That's
I love you,
cat
good.
juice. Drink it.
There. I don't know why he wants to play with me when I start doing this stuff. Like he will ignore me all day long, and then as soon as I sit down to do something, he's like, "I want to be in your general
That's
direction."
because he wants to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Because your attention is elsewhere.
Where is my dice? Where did my dice go? Oh, they're down here. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 4. Okay. Um. Yes. So he makes off with that.
Dad, here's your pop.
Thank you. All right.
Here's your pop, Mom.
So yes. He scurries off back to the hole. He doesn't come back the rest of your watch. Your watch ends, and it is time for whoever you choose to wake up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna gently wake up Flame. Hey, bud.
Yeah.
That's
My
your
watch. Okay.
yeah. Oh, by the way, one of the little kobold people he tried to steal from you. He was in your pack. I don't know if he took anything because I can't see very well, but
Hmm.
I threw a pebble at him and he scurried off. So
Okay.
just be aware. He came from over there, and I'm gonna point over the rock that we're against.
I'm gonna cast dark vision on myself so I can see a little bit
Okay.
better, and then
All
just
right.
kind of look around, and then go into my backpack and check to see what's missing.
All right. As you start rummaging through your backpack, beyond the sheer amount of gold coin you have, you do have a couple of like small things
Yep.
still in your backpack.
Yeah.
Most notably being the silver coins, the
Mhm.
Riverstone necklace, and the bone figure.
Yeah.
One of the silver coins is missing. You
Okay.
originally had 4, and one of them has come up missing.
Well, that's a shame. Well, all right. I'm just gonna sit up on the rock and just kind of watch.
All right. Go ahead and give me a perception.
Perception.
All right. Um, Again, as you're sitting there watching, it's late. It's getting, to the point where most civilized creatures are asleep. And again, you see this tiny little figure standing by the rocks, and he's watching you very, very intently.
Okay. I
Um,
keep an eye on him.
he's not moving. You see him like he's just sort of crouched there watching you.
Uh-huh.
Um, he hasn't done anything. He doesn't move. He doesn't really do anything. He just sort of hangs out and watches you throughout your watch.
Okay. I'll just keep an eye on him. Not really doing anything.
As you're keeping an eye on him, you see uh, two more pop up, and like they're sitting there, kind of like leaning in towards each other, and you get the sense that they're talking to one another, but you can't hear them.
Too far away.
Yeah, they're speaking in very low, quiet voices, and they're like 40 feet away from you, 40, 50 feet. So,
Huh.
um, and as you kind of keep an eye on them, the two that show up later kind of start to fan out a little bit, and you see one of them disappear behind this rock up here, and the other one goes back behind these rocks. And the third one is the original one is just still sitting there staring at you intently.
Okay. I'll just watch them. I'm just watching for them to continue circling, or if they're
You
doing
do not
something else.
see the other two kobolds reappear.
Huh?
Your watch ends as the kobold is still just kind of sitting there watching. It's
Okay. Let's see, is there anything I want to do before I wake up Mott?
Well, I guess that didn't need to be on
How
my computer anyway.
how far? It's about 40 feet.
yeah. Okay, let me grab.
I want to. Mom, I know how to make krill.
Hmm.
Like he's just sort of like hanging out by these rocks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something I could do that's not aggressive. Like I don't want to kill him, But at the same time, I kind of want to mess with him a little bit. Um. Yeah, I guess I'm not really gonna do anything. I'm just gonna go and go hop off the rock, go wake up Mott, kind of kick him in the shin, like Mott, wake up.
Ow, dick. What was that
Yeah.
for?
You know what it's for. Anyways, there's kobolds out there,
Do not.
children kobolds who have been messing with us or watching us all through the night. Just there was one behind that rock, and he's gonna point to the northern one. One that's kind of standing out there, still in the open, and another one that went kind of over there, and he's gonna point to that rock. I I think they're curious about us. I don't think they're up to any real mischief, but keep an eye on them.
Fair enough.
He's gonna go to bed.
All right.
Well, is at least going to, before he takes watch on the top of the rock, do a quick pass by the horses and see if they've calmed down and not try and nip at
The
him
horses,
anymore.
yeah, the horses they're sitting there grazing on what little grass there is to graze on. They're pretty calm. They're not making any like starts, or they're not whinnying in fear. They're just sort of chilled out.
Alright. The Mott will kind of come up here on top of the rock. And does he see the kobold at all?
You don't have dark vision, so it's very, very difficult to see him. But you know his general position, so it is easy enough to squint and see sort of his outline out there.
Gotcha. Well, I will
Um,
keep an eye just on that little guy because he looks curious.
All right.
for at least a
As
couple
you
minutes.
climb up to the rock and sort of get positioned, um, you do see him like start to slowly creep forward. He gets about to here, and you see him like crouch down and like look real careful in your direction.
Uh, Mott's gonna stand up on the rock, and I won't mess with him because, well, I mean, because Flame couldn't. He's gonna do a quick, like, that long stretch, and then he's gonna do a kind of front cat stretch a little bit. As he does that, he's going to cast Silent Image and have like two fake dragon wings pop out his back.
All right. Um, the kobold, you see him like stop and stare, and then he like scrambles back to his hiding hole. You can see him just barely like peeking around the corner of the rock. Like you can see the general outline of his head. And he's just staring intently at you.
Mont will put up a finger up to his muzzle, and then
Thank you, bud.
pretend to fold his wings kind of like back onto his back and dismiss the spell.
All right.
Then just kind of look at the surrounding areas just to see if there's anything else going on.
You don't see any of the others.
Oh, fair enough.
Your watch passes. It's getting to be early morning. The sun is starting to peek its head up, and as it does so, get as your eyes readjust to the light, you see that kobold is asleep on the rocks. He is passed out where he sits.
All right. Then, because it's still funny, uh, just tug on like his tail a little bit, or poke prod him from the distance, just to see if he wakes up or
You're
moves or
gonna have to get a
anything.
little closer than that if you're gonna make
Really?
a chance. Yeah, because you're like 40 feet away.
Oh shit. All right. Then yeah, he'll pretend to examine the horses again. But yeah, get a little bit closer and just do that a
Okay.
little bit.
All right. You do that. He starts wide awake, looks around, sees the sun coming up, and you see him like freak out. He like starts scrambling back to the hole, and as he does so, you hear a thump and two voices in Draconic. The first one being from a much older kobold say, "Why you be out all night? What you do? You not bother guests, did you?" And you hear the younger one squeal, "No, no, no bother, no bother."
Well, I acted as some sort of a alarm clock for the little guy. And
Eventually, you see this young kobold being dragged by his tail around the corner by a much older, like bigger kobold. And they approach you, and the bigger one like slaps him across the back of the head and points at you. And the younger one kind of like sheepishly looks up at you. Yeah, sorry for bothering.
no bother. And I assume this isn't Draconic, right?
Yes, they only
Uh,
speak Draconic.
yeah. I was like, hey, no bother. You were very good watch last night. Though you didn't see nothing uh too scary, did you?
He just kind of like violently shakes his head.
All right. So see, he was a very good scout.
Um, There is one thing about this young kobold that strikes you as very different than the rest.
Yeah.
Unlike the other kobolds who are kind of a dusky reddish brown, he's got a black stripe that goes from his snout all the way down his back.
Oh,
Um, and it's a very distinguishing marking. And he kind of looks up at you and looks back down and looks back up at you like he's got something he wants to say, but he's too afraid to say it in front of the bigger kobold.
uh, huh. Well, would it be all right if I talked to your younger kin just really quick?
Uh, the older kobold, the bigger kobold, looks at you and looks back at Yacht. Fine, but if he cause trouble, you smack hard, and he like smacks him again across the back of the head, like in emphasis, and walks away.
Yeah.
Yacht is sitting there like rubbing the back of his head, and he looks up. You can tell he's probably the runt of his litter. Like he's the runt of his clutch. He kind of looks at you and he holds some. He like puts his hand in a little pouch and he holds something out to you, and it's a silver coin. Yeah, yeah, took this. Got returned. Got sorry. He got was looking for something and didn't find it.
What were you looking for, little man?
Figurine, small, white, made of bone.
Ah,
Got
so I
got carved for Shoal. Shoal left. Yacht never give to Shoal.
well, me and my companions actually met her before, and we actually might be able to give that to her. And I think that's what her mom, your well, Shaw's mom, gave to us so we could do that.
I, oh, I see. Yacht got glad then. Yacht got wish for Shoal to have. Spent
Well,
many moon working on.
fair enough. Well, yeah, we will try our best to deliver it and see what we can do, okay?
He like nods emphatically and he kind of looks at you and are you like Yacht? And he points to the black stripe.
I believe so.
Marked for the goddess?
Well, I know my line is directly connected to the Draconic Lady, so if if you have the same markings, then you might be as well.
And he kind of looks at you and kind of like lowers his voice. Hey, then you be sacrificed too?
No, no, I won't ever be sacrificed. And if you're going to be sacrificed, you need to make sure that you aren't. Because
How?
there's one thing that Mott learned very early, and he's going to try and do a quick little hand thing with like just the skills that he's learned over the years of
Mhm.
doubling the silver coins type of
All right.
thing.
Make a sleight of hand check for me then.
All right, sleight of hand.
All right. This kobold's far. He's not going to be able to incite or perceive a deception of like this because
Right,
he's just too start. He's just too stupid for that.
yeah,
He just kind of gasps and looks at you and looks like at the coins and looks back at you and but sacrifice honor, great honor, greatest honor in tribe. Why you no sacrifice?
because that would deprive the world of me and my existence. And there's still a lot that I need to do in this world
Kind
because
of looks at you in confusion.
I can't be sacrificed until I get something back. because something was stolen from me. I need to get it back before that happens.
He doesn't really understand what you're trying to say.
But just know this, little guy. Sacrifice can be many things. It doesn't have to be just your life. Maybe you work hard, get stronger than everyone else, and your
He kind of
sacrifice is in your strength.
like looks at you. Life? No, 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 no. Y'all no sacrifice life.
Good.
That sacrifice tail.
Oh. Oh, do us dragon points have tails?
Uh, that's entirely up to you guys. Most in my world don't, but some of you do. Like that's entirely how you guys want to portray
Ah,
yourselves.
well,
I think I
the-
would have a tail. I feel like my character would.
Like I said, that's up to you guys. That's one of those quirks of genetics. Some of you have them, some of you don't. It's like
right.
a residual thing,
Well,
or vestigial is what I should say, because I believe that's the correct term.
there you go. Then, yeah, if just remember though, if you get rid of your tail, it's going to cause one heck of a balance problem. You're going to take a little while to get used to it.
No, no,
But,
no. Shaman regrow. Shaman will regrow tail.
all
That
right
just has
then.
to sacrifice markings.
Ah, well, I don't see why you should get rid of them. I'm rather proud of mine, and look at how much I have. And he's just going to stretch and show all of his black scales.
He just kind of he looks at you in awe, and he's just like, hmm, "You give yacht things to think on. Yacht that must think." And like he sits down and like kind of concentrates on the ground for a minute, and you can almost see smoke pouring out of his ears.
I'll leave it to you. Um, just remember, if you if you can't be as strong, be sneakier, quicker than everyone else. And he's gonna kind of turn and go to wake everyone else up.
Now there's like actual black smoke pouring from his ears because he's thinking even harder. Eventually, he does get up and walk away, uh, muttering to himself in Draconic.
Oh,
Ow. As the
and-
rest of you wake up, uh, the day is it's cold, it's bright, and it's you guys have ground to cover because you still have a couple of weeks left of travel.
yay, more travel.
Woohoo!
How do you guys do this crap? Oh, oh, by the way, guys, Flame, that little figurine we got,
Yeah,
uh, let's try our best to get it to that gal.
if we can. I mean, we're kind of on the run in the opposite direction of the last place we saw her.
Flame, can I get a breakfast berry, please? I'm hungry.
Uh, sure.
You sure this is enough food for the entire day? It doesn't seem like enough.
Oh, well, you've been eating them for a while, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually, out of character, I've been deducting rations and I just ran out. So
oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Grubble has been munching on his dried beef and hard bread and stuff like that.
Gonna make some good berries and toss them one, and then he's gonna toss one to Mott because it'd be like, I know how much you love them.
Yeah. And well, not the best, but starting to grow on me because, like Grumble, I ran out of rations a while ago.
Grow on you or grow in you? Huh? Huh?
I don't need that imagery.
can I get a couple extra breakfast berries, please? I feel like I need them.
Eat the one you just got.
I eat it.
Feel full, don't you?
I don't think it makes you feel full, does it?
Yeah, it does. I think so.
Then how would you eat 10 of them to heal?
So it just says it provides enough nourishment. It doesn't say anything about making you feel full.
Oh, okay. Still not gonna give him another one. These things.
As you guys are passing around the good berry, you hear a
Hello?
Yep. Hello.
the kobold shaman has come up. I take it you're on your way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Which one of you gave Yacht the idea that he didn't need to sacrifice his tail?
That would be
Gonna
me.
point at Mott.
He kind of looks at you and I do not interfere with your religious practices. I would appreciate if you did not interfere with ours.
I apologize, but he said sacrifice, and I thought the worst. I didn't know it was his
We
tail.
we may be kobolds and we may be stupid creatures at times, but we are not savages. We do not simply kill our own for the sake of our god.
That's good to know. I apologize for that. And he looks like he could uh, be one of those that could be persuaded otherwise. If nothing else, I know a few things that might help. He seems to be very enticed by magic, or at least
Yacht
gonna try.
Yacht is one of our foremost scouts. His small size and speed belie well, his normal status inside the kobold clan.
Is this in common?
Yes,
Uh, what do you mean
he's the
sacrifice your tail? What does
kobold
that
who
mean?
can speak common.
As he mentioned there, Grumble, it's a religious practice of theirs. And from what
He was
Yacht
to
told me,
he was to sacrifice the lower half of his tail, which would be regrown, and he kind of looks at Mark, like scaldingly, but without the black marking on the rest of him. The marking was to be sacrificed to Tiamat.
"Hmm, I mean, for the chromatic lady, yeah, but I've never really, as you said, I shouldn't have interfered with your religious practices. I apologize.
What good are tails, anyways, right, Brian?
I mean,
Uh,
I've never seen Flame use his tail creatively.
True.
Like
It's
he
only for
does.
balance.
I mean, do you even really balance? I mean, you just wiggle your butt and you bounce.
Well, Shaman, I apologize. Um, if I could talk to him and maybe smooth things out a little bit.
no, Yacht has already made up his mind. We will have to turn to one of his brothers to have the sacrifice. You've robbed him of a great honor, but at the same time, it is good to see Yacht stand up for himself.
Well, that's good at the
Want a
very
breakfast,
least.
Barry?
He flashes a mouthful of teeth at you. I do not eat berries.
It's like magical. Tell me about it, Flame.
Why are you offering up my good berries to random strangers?
It was
Uh,
pretty good. I thought you'd want to share.
Again, sorry about that, Shaman. But I am glad that one, you're able to find somebody else, and two, that the little guy seems to be standing up for himself. It looks like he at least needed that little bit.
Mm, if you ever come back this way, please don't stop here. And he turns on his heel and marches away.
He's gonna not will turn to the rest of them, going, "Huh? It's weird from the other side."
Yeah. So let me get this straight, my den mother man. Um, you know all that grief you give us for stirring the crowd and causing shit and making your life miserable, and how we always used to defend ourselves about this. Like, come on, we were just being personable or wanting to arm wrestle. And I'm going to gesture to the dwarf. You caused a problem. How? It's kind of weird. Do you want me to berate you? and like get on your case about it, or should I just let it slide and be like, yeah, it just happens?
Oh, I think you should at least pretend to berate him for a while there, Brian.
No, that's not my nature. It's all good. We're friends. I love them. It's all good. But maybe next time, don't berate us, and we'll be good, right? Because
Okay.
shit happens, you know.
Okay.
Ryan, I think you
will
should start
admit,
apologizing for five.
you guys have at least one a beratement-free mess up.
Oh, now I get two because I'm shorter and didn't cause any of the other beratements, right? I mean, I should get more, like double, you know?
I agree. You're like about a third of his size,
So
so you
the
should get like
inverse,
3.
Yeah, 3 times. Let's go.
an inverse beratement rule.
All right, Flame. Do you have parchment? We'll write like a little, free
Contract.
beratement card, but you'll flash them the card when it's our time, you know?
Want to know what?
Okay.
Sure. I will agree to it here and now. The next time we mess up, I won't berate you guys.
All right.
I mean, you probably will, but
We probably will deserve it too. Uh, wow. That happens.
Yeah. Well, in my defense, the little guy said he's gonna be sacrificed, and well, I didn't know.
You know, it's all good. And I'm gonna pat Mud on the forearm because that's all I could probably reach.
All right.
Let's get out of here. It's cold.
You're telling me how do you guys do this crap?
All right. So you guys mount up, leave the kobold dead in the distance. You travel for a you know, good distance before settling down for the night. Da, da, da. Okay. You guys get a good distance away from the kobolds before you settle down for the night. The night passes without much incident. You hear the sound of animals out in the distance. You hear, the usual creaking of like what little trees there are, like little brush shrub trees in the wind. Um, Thankfully, the weather's holding up. You haven't seen a hide nor hair of a storm on the horizon for the last couple of days. Um, the next morning, you guys set out, and things get a little dicey as you come up the path. The gate, there's a game trail you come across, and as you come across it, you see a rather large creature dis- disappearing in the distance. Um, you stop, hoping not to draw its attention, and it keeps running, but um, you're pretty sure that whatever that thing was, uh, it was not have been a fun time. Um, if any of you want to make like a nature check to tell what it is from your distance, you may. If not, we'll just continue.
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah! The druid with no knowledge.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, I did a thing and it
That was
worked.
not much better, Brian. You recognize the figure retreating into the distance. It's a hippogriff, basically.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be
And it
like,
is.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just gonna say to the gang, there's a hippogriff over there.
Who's those? What now?
Hippo what?
A hip grip. A hippogriff.
Hippo. Hip. See, hip.
A hippo
Is it?
griff?
You guys never heard of that before?
No. First time
No.
in my life.
I think there was
It's
just one story about a hippogriff named Buckbeak, but I don't remember it much.
Okay, let's not do that. Just because I'm
it,
using the creature doesn't mean we need to go and pull out popular fantasy tropes.
it's a horse eagle thing, you know?
Horse eagle.
Okay.
Can
Yeah.
it
All right.
fly?
Fair enough.
Yes.
Well, we need a horse. So why don't we try to tame it?
Hmm.
You want to try to tame? Well, I can't tame an animal because I'm pretty sure the steed I'm already on top of hates me.
I don't know. Let's try to capture it and make it our pet.
Hmm. I
Okay,
don't.
so hmm,
I don't think that would be the best idea, mainly because wild animals. But
well,
if you want to try and catch up to it, I'm not going to stop you.
okay, so here's the thing, Grumble and guys, like we are wanted men
Uh-huh.
Uh huh.
by many people. Do
Uh
we
huh.
really want to bring more attention to ourselves by possibly riding into town with a hippogriff?
Maybe. That would be pretty cool, right? Just
Grumble, do you really think that would be a smart idea? Like,
fly over the wall, and just be free
oh, yeah,
in town.
let's be even more obvious and fly over the wall.
Yeah, Brian actually has a pretty good point. We don't want to draw more attention to ourselves.
Yeah, we don't want to be berated, Grumble.
But my dudes,
Right,
Grumble has
man?
a very good point as
Oh,
well.
my God. Why am I agreeing with Mott and you're agreeing with Grumble?
Because it's
Not a bad
cool.
option.
All right, dude. I'll do whatever you guys want to do, but
Well, I
maybe
want to.
we should leave.
And
All right.
we could not only could we write it, but it could be used for scouting. So we'd know where the enemies are, so we'd have a better idea. I mean, there could be uses.
So
There
here's the
could be
plan: we
uses.
sneak up on it, we beat it up, knock it out, tie it up, and then it wakes up. You talk to it and be like, "Be my friend."
That, is that how you meet most of your
Ah,
friends, Grumble?
I don't think that's gonna work.
Why
I think
not?
we would have to like give it food, tell it we're friendly up ahead of time.
And
So
Yeah,
no beating it up.
No beating it up.
Well,
please
where
Straight
is
no.
up.
it? I look in the distance.
As you kind of look off in the distance, you see it has taken off. It has taken wing and is flying off into the distance.
Oh,
Well, there it goes. There goes that idea.
Maybe it heard you talk about beating it up with its
probably.
eagle ears.
Probably, my dude. That's too bad.
I mean, I don't know how far they can hear, but
I think eagles can see up to a mile away. I had a
but
barbarian
what
friend
about
once that had
hearing?
eagle
does that
vision.
affect their hearing?
I mean, have you ever had that conversation that you just needed to have everyone quiet just so you can hear better?
Well, I mean, I have closed my eyes when I couldn't see so I could hear better. I don't know how that relates to eagle vision. I got
All
nothing.
right,
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna like lower my head in defeat.
me either.
all right. So you guys keep traveling. I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sure.
Okay,
Yes.
you make it about another 10, 15 miles before you settle down for the night. Um, this night is a little blustery. The wind has picked up a little bit. You can you can feel grit and stuff being blown against your skin as you try to sleep. It's not comfortable, but it doesn't affect you guys enough to have to roll con check. Um, the next morning, it's still blustery. It's still really windy. Um, the they've gotten stronger, and you guys are starting to worry that you may be caught in another sandstorm.
Mm.
Oh, aren't those sandstorms pretty bad? Like, if we get caught in one, we're dead, right?
Mott, you've lived through enough sandstorms in Neomar to know that if it's a bad one, it will flay the skin from your bones.
Okay, I will
We're
let them
talking
know.
60-mile-an-hour winds with sharp ass sand crystals scouring every inch of your exposed body.
All right, then yeah, I will kind of let them know about that, just the stories that Mata's heard about stuff like that, and at least recommend we find somewhere to shelter, if at all possible.
We could look for a cave. Maybe we could look for a town or something. Maybe go back on the road.
Bless you, bud.
Well, we are heading to the closest town
Yeah, but we're
right
not
now.
taking the road. We're taking like
No,
a.
you guys are taking the overland route
Mm-hmm.
because the roads weren't safe.
The
There might be smaller towns in between, right?
Oh yeah, there's definitely smaller towns in between, but by now the riders have probably spread your guys' likeness all over those towns.
yeah,
I don't know. I say we find a cave.
a cave, a hidey hole, another kobold warren. Who knows?
Something.
You know what? Those orcs. How do they survive the sandstorms in this area?
You know, I never asked that.
Anyway, you guys continue to travel, keeping your eyes peeled for anywhere to potentially ride out a sandstorm. What now? Oh, my kid's over here getting achievements, and I'm just like, what's going on?
So is that an investigation check or anything, or are we just keeping
More.
an eye out?
You guys are just keeping an eye out, basically. Um, as you travel for the rest of this day, the sun, the sand, the wind. My apologies. The sun, the sand, the wind, all of it. It's miserable riding. The horses aren't happy. You're not happy. Everybody's kind of gritty and sand in your teeth and sand in your eyes, and it's not pleasant. But eventually, the wind dies down and the grit stops blowing nearly as fiercely. So you guys are pretty sure you're out of the danger zone. Whatever weather it was has subsided well enough that you're not going to be stuck in a sandstorm or whatever type of storm it may have been.
Yay.
Okay, keep on marching on, eating our breakfast berries,
The
drinking our
um,
flame water.
all right, let me roll for you guys' next couple of days. Come back here. Okay, okay. So you guys keep traveling again for another day. You rest. You keep traveling. It's kind of monotonous at this point. There's there's a whole lot of nothing out here. Um, every now and then you'll see like a big predator in the distance chasing something, but none of them have come close enough to you to really like bother you until one day you're riding along. You're not really you're involved in whatever you're doing. Chatting amongst yourselves, keeping an eye on the skies and whatever. And you hear a very gruff voice shout, "Stop!"
I stopped and be like, "Who goes there?"
In the name of love?
As you guys look forward, you see there's a large group of orcs standing in the road or in the trail, and they're staring at you intently. The lead orc steps forward. He goes, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
We are travelers. We're just passing through.
I'm Flame. That's Brian.
Hello.
And I'm
Grumble.
Grumble.
Mott. What are you? Who are you, and what are you doing here?
We live here. These are our lands.
Do you have anything for
Um,
trade?
He kind of looks at you and he kind of like sneers, not with a dwarf. And he says something in Orcish and spits on the ground.
Do I know Orcish? Let me check. I think you said I didn't know any only Dwarvish in common.
Yep.
I mean, what's your intelligence now again?
It's 8.
Yeah, you wouldn't really know anything but what you grew up with.
You're
I
a
mean, you get
dumbass
it
like
from
me.
your background. Yeah, I have Dwarf common. I think Outlanders are supposed to get another language, but that's all right. It's fine.
Yep. There you go.
But yeah, he said something in Orcish, spits on the ground, and just kind of glares at you. And
Hey, orcs and dwarves can be friends, right?
he kind of sneers.
Where?
You are not welcome in our lands.
All
Come
right,
Where?
back.
we're just passing through. We won't cause any trouble. We're not even hunting on the land. We have our own supplies.
This orc in the back comes up, like taps him on the shoulder and says something. He kind of looks at you and looks back at him and looks back at you, and he kind of stares real hard at Flame for a second,
Flame
and
waves.
he looks back at his compatriot, and the orc nods very like emphatically, and he moves forward a couple of feet and like stares even harder.
Flame
You
leans
are
forward and waves again.
you are you are a water bearer, aren't you?
That's what they called me at the last dork village we were at. Yeah.
You saved our kin from many, many nights of drought.
Yeah.
He
This is true.
kind of crosses his arms over his chest and
I'll tell you what.
well,
Do you want to make a trade? I can fill up a couple barrels of water for you if you let us through your lands.
we are not in such desperate need, but
Oh, okay.
you have done kin service, and for that you must be repaid.
Oh.
You may pass, but should you be caught hunting our lands, taking our game for your own needs, you will be punished.
Okay.
And he
Fair. We will
turns
only
around,
defend
yells
ourselves.
something. That is fine. He turns around and yells something in Orcish, and the orcs like move out of your guys' way.
By the by, what's your clan called?
We are the clan of Coral.
We're all good name. Sturdy warriors. I like it. He's gonna say as he takes the horse right through him.
All right. As you guys continue riding, well, you see them disappear into the distance, and as you do, you see several more patrols like off in the distance. They look like they're hunting parties of some kind because they've all some of them have like kills.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
No more raptors.
No raptors. Here, bud, let me see it.
See, Mott, if you help people out, they're friendly with you.
Uh, uh, sure.
Here, bud. I'll show you how to turn it off. Let me see it. So you
Brian
press this
gives Mott a
button,
look like he's in the same
then you go
agreement.
to there, and then you press this button. Hey, press that button.
Well, it's gonna like, what the hell did the tables
And then you go
turn?
down to the very bottom one here, and you press this button. There you go. You guys spend the next night basically in the orc lands. You see their parties. You see their fires in the distance around you guys. None of them bother you. Not even like they don't even come close to your guys' camps.
Yay.
It'll take you 2 days to get through their lands. And the second day, you are accosted by yet another group. This time, the one in charge is wearing a large headdress, and he's massive. He's easily two of Grumble's wide at the shoulders,
Wow.
and he kind of looks at you and you were given free reign of my lands. Why?
Just, just to pass through.
Why?
Because we helped your fellow kinsman with water. I guess they called me the water bearer, which I thought was kind of odd, but
Ah, so you are Watson Bearer.
Mhm.
It is a pleasure to meet you, and I thank you for saving my brother and his people.
The pleasure's all mine. Nice to meet you too. What's your
Hey,
name? I'm Flame.
is there anything he could do for you?
No, my people live in a much greener part of the world. We are not subject to such things as drought.
Hmm. Oh,
There
that's
is
good.
nothing I would require of you other than to travel well and be safe. You've helped us. That is the least we can do for you.
I appreciate that. Be safe yourself and good hunting.
You'll notice he's quite easily dodged the whole name question.
But I'm not gonna press him on it. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, no, you have to tell me your name. You can't leave here until you tell me your name. Like, what the fuck? He has a big orc party gonna fight us. Like, what the hell? No.
As you guys continue writing, you see them kind of staring after you. What?
Can you go stand with them and talk to them? They need.
Yes, I can go sit with them and talk. But you guys continue writing for the rest of the evening.
I used to come and stay with you for a little bit. We gotta do work.
Oh,
And
that's fifth.
Yeah, I make sure to tell the party about my clans. What's a good dwarven barbarian clan name?
That is a good question.
The shortstops?
The Bronzebeards. Kind of hill dwarves in a different part of the land
John,
than this.
The Iron Bottoms.
No, it's Bronzebeards.
Iron Bottoms.
It's bronze because we mine bronze and we
Iron.
trade bonds and we have beards.
You can't mine bronze. You have to mine tin and copper.
Yeah, that's what we do.
But you said you mine bronze. Are you a real dwarf?
Of course, I'm a real
bronze
dwarf.
is bronze is an alloy, my sir.
I
Yeah.
got one. I got
You
one.
can't
I
mine
got
it.
one. Grumble, I got one.
Uh.
The beefy nuggets.
No, it's the Bronzebeards. That's my clan
No,
name.
because nugget can also be like ore that you mine. They're nuggets, you know? And so
Or like chicken nuggies.
Yeah, but I can't rename my clan. It's already decided.
Oh, I thought you were coming up with your own clan. Like you're starting anew.
No, I'm telling you about the clan I was in before I joined the Adventuring Guild.
Well, if
What
you
about
did start a new clan, I think you should call them the Iron Bottoms.
Okay, well, let's start a new clan. I'll be the leader. You guys are my subjects. Uh,
No, but you can be the leader of your own clan, the Iron Bottoms.
Wait, I
Grumble
thought
Iron Bottom. I like that name.
we were already the Manticorians.
We are
oh
as an
yeah,
adventuring group. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm part of that adventuring group too, Flame.
Yeah,
I
but you
didn't
can.
say you weren't,
I mean,
Mr.
you're on
Iron Bottom.
probation.
Oh, I thought you meant we are. Like we are. Everybody but Grumble.
Nah,
Well, you
I'm
are on
good.
probation, you know.
Well, for what?
It's just standard in new groups. I mean,
Mm.
like to
Oh,
intern, you know.
6 month trial period to see if
I've
we
shed
we get
blood for
along.
you guys. I came
You
back
what?
for you guys.
You did, but you also started a bar fight.
That
True.
was an
That's a
accident.
Hey,
good point.
He
hey,
started it. I was just trying to arm wrestle.
I thought we were on a beratement-free endeavor in the future.
Yeah, but he's a dwarf. Doesn't really apply to him. You know?
You're a
Oh.
halfling.
That's why it doesn't apply to me either. That's what you think I was talking about.
Okay, so dwarves and gnomes are free from beratement.
I
Good to know. The free from
Okay.
beratement rule.
I love you, bud, but I'm a halfling, not a gnome.
Sorry, halfling. Halflings and dwarves are free from the no
Hello.
beratement rule.
Hey,
Good enough.
Brian, I have an idea.
Hello, Reese.
How about you teach me the halfling language? I'll teach you the dwarvish language.
Sure, we could do that.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
do that in our downtime.
Oh, Lord.
this is gonna be my future.
Bad pronunciation of dwarven and halfling and lots of irritation at one another. Oh, Lord.
So,
I don't
like,
know if you've
yeah,
ever actually
while
tried to
travel,
learn another language from somebody, but it is a pain in the ass.
yeah, while traveling, I was gonna be like, how do you say banana in halfling?
I
Wait,
see
is
that.
this just the exchanging of curse words in different languages?
In dwarvish, it's godada.
Fine.
Well,
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Top of the morning.
Hello, governor.
ironically, I did a halfling translator website, typed in banana, and it came out banana.
What does it say for
Probably not the
dwarvish?
right. Uh, it's
Good.
just a halfling
You-
translator.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. You guys come to his rest for the night. It's again the it's not a pleasant night. The wind has picked back up again. Um, no, oop. The wind has picked back up. The grit is blowing hard again. Um, Thankfully though, you're starting to get into more like prairie lands rather than scrublands. There's not as much grit blowing. There's more grass, like heavy grasses and stuff that you can see in the distance. Um, the terrain is very slowly changing. The next morning, you guys wake up and continue on. And as you are traveling up ahead, you see something in the sky, and there's a couple of them. There's like two or three, and as they fly overhead, you notice that they are wyverns and that they are moving in a very strict V pattern.
Oh,
Oh, it's these guys, the hunter guys, right?
yeah.
is this during our watch or while we're traveling?
While you're traveling.
Is there anywhere to hide?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there cover?
Not really. You guys are out in pretty much open prairie at this point.
Then
Well,
act like we're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Don't speed up, don't slow down, just keep going.
And if they try and stop us, if these are the riders, we
Well,
got lost in the sand dunes or whatever, and got accosted by one of the predators and lost Brian's horse.
All right.
good story. Yeah. Last time I checked, they were looking for someone else, not us.
They spot you. One of them does land in front of you as the other two continue to circle overhead. And as the gentleman dismounts his wyvern, um, he's armed pretty heavily. He's got an axe at his side. He's got a crossbow slung across his back, a couple of daggers on his hip, and he's got scale mail that looks. It's kind of a rusty reddish color, but it's not rusted out. That's what I. If you guys can,
sure.
if you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
And he kind of walks up to you and, well, four little lost lambs out in the wilds. What have we here? What are you what are you doing out here, boys?
Ugh.
Hello, we're not lost. We're journeying.
I see. And you journey through the wilds untamed and dangerous as they are very often.
Yeah, we're adventurers.
I see. Well, adventurers, and he reaches back and he pulls a parchment, he flips it open. Have any of you, and he walks up and hands it to Grumble, seen this child. It's a picture of a young girl. She's dressed in what look to be more noble-ish clothes. She's blonde. She's very delicate features. The the poster's in color, so you can tell she's got like bright green eyes. Um, you've seen this girl before. She's a member of the city. She's the little girl you guys were supposed to save.
I know about her. I haven't seen her. Wish I could have.
You know something? And he kind of like eyes you very carefully.
Uh, well, not as much as I wanted to. All I know is that girl got taken away from her house and was put into slavery.
So you do know something. You
I,
see him like make a motion, and the other two light riders land on either side of you guys. I'm going to have to ask you to inform me on what you know. We've been searching for the girl for several weeks, and anything that could lead to her return will be handsomely rewarded. And he like jingles a pouch at his side.
unfortunately, I grew up in the city near, and I heard all the rumors, and the rumors were that she got kidnapped for a noble play. Well, a noble's play at Power, and well, once once people are in the slave trade, they kind of disappear from near. So my guess is go to the underground, see what you can hear, and see if you can find anything there.
And just where exactly would you suggest we start looking for this underground?
Unfortunately, I'm quite a few weeks away from near itself, so I wouldn't know where to go. But hmm,
I'll
any
tell you what,
magic book?
rather than giving me a individual, show me the thieves' cant markings for an informant's home, and I'll let you forego with no problems. He kind of he stares at you very intently as he holds out a piece of parchment and a quill with some ink.
Well, probably what I said, but very astute on you, sir.
Doesn't take much to know when someone starts talking about the underground and informants and things of that nature. Two and two equals four most times. So
Oh, true. All right. Well, in that case, can he do the informant thing as well as maybe anything else that might pertain to finding the girl?
yeah, you can write down whatever you need to.
All right. Um, as he's writing, he is going to ask the guy, uh, "Are you are dedicated to finding this girl?"
Yes, we've been paid a hefty sum, and our leader happens to be friendly with the mother. So yes, we are dedicated to finding her. Not so much hunting noble killers, and he kind of flips one dagger real quick in his fingers and puts it back. So you boys don't have anything to worry about, do you?
Oh. Mott will kind of nervously chuckle, going, "Couldn't know what you mean by that, but yeah, that is a
Indeed.
very good thing." But
He,
he's at least going to write some extra information on the noble, going, "Hey, yeah, it was definitely this guy," if it wasn't already known by those guys.
all right. As soon as you're done and you hand it back to him, he looks it over, reads it, looks at you and winks, takes a small coin pouch from his purse and tosses it to you. Thank you for the information, gentlemen. Safe travels, and be aware there's a party of bugbears in the area, and they're not very kind to strangers.
Uh,
I mean, between orcs, kobolds, the only thing messing with bugbears is goblins, and we hit the entire frickin' household of ne'er-do-wells.
Hmm. He mounts up and motions for his two riders to launch. Kind of looks at you, and 2 days to the northeast, you'll find a small village. They don't know who you are. They don't care who you are. As long as you don't cause trouble, they won't cause you any.
Brian lets out like an involuntary chuckle at this.
Fair enough. Happy hunting, sirs.
Good luck.
He salutes you guys briefly and takes off. The wind buffets you guys as the three of them take off, and as they fly away, you guys kind of feel that sense of holy shit, that was a close one,
Yeah,
roll over you.
a very heavy sigh. Oh boy.
I wonder how they tame the wyvern. See, we could have tamed the hippogriff.
Yeah, they probably beat it up first, right?
Beat it up and then tie it up and then talk to it.
Mm-hmm.
Fed it a banana or two.
I do really hope they find that kid.
Be good.
Me too.
Northeast.
I mean, we've zigged and zagged across this landscape. Might as well.
All right.
All right. So you guys will travel for 2 days before you hit the next small village.
Pure
I'm going to take
curiosity, though. How much
what
was that pouch?
it is 20 gold.
Hey, look. He's gonna open it and go. Uh, it would be insulting not to take this, but I feel it's redundant at this point.
Hey,
Uh,
money's money.
yeah, he will give it to Flame and or Grumble to hold on to the gold.
Sure, I'll put 20 gold in my backpack.
All right. So you add a pittance of 20 gold to your overwhelmingly full backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys ride for 2 days, and you come across a small village. It's out in the middle of nowhere. There's no major roads to it. It As you guys ride into town, they look at you with the same sort of distrust that all of these isolated communities have for outsiders, but they don't cause you any trouble. There's a small general store. There's a small like type of it's kind of like a tavern. There's a lot. There's like maybe 9, 10, 15 houses, something like that. It's a small community, and as you guys ride into it, the town pretty much goes quiet as you ride through. When you stop and dismount, you see a gentleman approach you. He's dressed kind of nicely. His clothes aren't torn up, and he's doesn't and they're not dirty, but they're the same like peasant wear that everyone else is wearing. And he kind of looks the four of you over. Not here to cause trouble, are you?
No, just
Nope,
glad to finally see civilization.
just
Let's
passing through.
see. Well, as long as you don't cause trouble for us, we won't have any trouble with you. If that's all right, welcome to Tillin.
Tillin, nice. I'm Grumble. Do you have anything for trade? We have plenty of money.
You'll
Hey,
have to
man.
ask. You'll have to talk to the general store owner if you wish to trade.
Finally, civilization. I say that as an outlander.
He kind of looks at you, and if this is your idea of civilization, you've come a long way in the wilds, haven't you?
We've been traveling out here for a while.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see.
got
Well,
turned around due to a sandstorm, and local predators took out one of our horses. We've been
I
hoofing
see.
it ever since.
I see. Well, like I said, if you're welcome here as long as you don't cause any trouble.
Do you have any extra horses for sale anywhere?
Or a pony.
That's something that we can
Kind
ask
of He kind of looks at you, and I'm afraid all of our animals are spoken for and are not for sale.
Ah, okay.
But in any case, you said there's an inn, general store, and all that.
There's a tavern and a general store, and there's no inn.
No, tavern. Sorry. Well, guys, let's head to the tavern. Let's get some local finery and see if we can sleep in an actual bed.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
As you guys head into the tavern keeper is a very plump woman. She kind of looks up at you and, well, dears, welcome to my tavern. What brings the four of you in? You don't look like the regular.
Just
Oh,
traveling. What's the major town to the south? That's what we're heading.
You're heading,
Or was it north? Oh,
it's south.
the
yeah,
south.
You're heading for the port city.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And
well
and
then.
unfortunately, a sandstorm and a predator kind of made us turned around and
I
kind of a little
see.
lost.
I see. Well, that's a terrible thing to hear. Sit down. I'll have you something to eat. I'm afraid you'll have to settle for what's on the oven. We don't really have a menu here.
That'll be great. It'll be fantastic.
Do you have any ale?
Of course, I've got ale. What kind of tavern would I be if I didn't have some kind of ale?
Do you,
I
do you have
reach
any
into my.
rooms?
Go on.
Do you have any rooms for rent?
No rooms here, but I know there's an old widow who has a few rooms that she lets out to travelers every once in a while.
Oh, that'll be fantastic. Just sleeping on the ground for so long, it'd be nice to just sleep in a little bit more comfort, you know?
Understandable. Like I
I'll,
said, take a seat somewhere and I'll get you something to eat and drink.
Thank
I'll
you.
reach in my backpack and give her 2 gold. I say, "Will this cover it, or do you need more?"
She kind of looks at you in shock. Um,
Nope, nope, can't.
that's far more than it would cost for food and drinks, sir. It's
Well,
only it's only 2 silver for all of it.
well,
I can't possibly
consider the
pay all
rest a
that.
tip. I like you.
Child wants you to give him his bedtime cuddles.
All right, I'll be there in a minute. We're just about wrapped up here, so.
Hmm.
But she kind of looks at you and I uh, uh, um, and she kind of like finally she kind of like shakes her head violently and reaches out, takes the coin, slides it into her uh, basically slides it into her blouse. Very well, sir. If you insist. Um, food and drink. Sit down, and I will have it out for you in a moment.
Thank
She like
you.
bustles away.
So, Brian,
She moves you.
tell me about
Go
your
ahead.
god, Shanae.
You're hilarious, Grumble. Until you figure out what her name actually is, I ain't gonna
What
say
is it?
anything
I
to you.
forgot.
Well, that's your fault, not mine.
Shaniqua.
What if I want to convert? You're not very good cleric.
You don't want to convert.
You could sell me.
Grumble, listen, buddy. She is a god of peace and
Hmm.
relationship building. Not exactly something I see in your future.
Yeah, you know what? I do get pissed off a lot, so that probably wouldn't work.
That's your entire nature is to get pissed off and beat things up.
That's true.
I am a cleric of peace.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I like your god,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's for me though.
good. Then you will never learn about Shaniqua.
Shaniqua, okay.
Apparently. Apparently. That's my god's name.
I
I'm gonna
forgot.
roll my eyes and look at Flames.
Shillelagh, Shaniqua,
Flames
Shanae.
giggling.
Oh Lord. All right. The innkeeper comes tavern or the tavern keeper comes bustling up with a few plates of. Basically, it's like mutton. Basically,
Hmm.
um, like it's good. It's well seasoned. It smells delicious. The ale is not cold, but it is like. It is cool enough to that you can guess it probably came from a tap in the basement.
Okay.
She gives you your food, bustles away, and proceeds to get ready for the opening of the tavern later that evening.
So
Um,
when
but
she appears to be out of earshot, I'm gonna lean over to Grumble and kind of, in a quiet voice, be like, maybe stop using your name while we're traveling incognito,
Oh,
and
you think the
buddy,
people know
and
our
and
names?
also stop advertising that we have lots of money. Both of these things are good ways to get us into trouble.
You
Okay.
learned. You finally fucking learned.
I mean, after all the mistakes you've made on this trip, Mont, I've had to.
Oh, I will stab you in the butt cheek.
I mean, that's what
You
rogues
want me
do.
to tell the serving us we don't actually have a lot of money?
I just let resting dogs lie, as it were. Just don't bring it up anymore.
Where's the dogs at? I want to pet them.
They let them out. Woof woof
oh
woof
my
woof.
lord. Oh,
Okay, so okay, I can do that. Don't I'll pay with 1 gold next time.
Okay. Or you could just pay the
uh,
2 silver that she asked.
I don't have silver. I have 1,000 gold.
You should have some silver on you.
I don't have any
Well,
silver on.
Okay,
no,
well, the next time let me pay in silver, because I have.
Sure, but you have to give a tip though.
I'd give her an extra silver.
all right. As the day kind of winds down, she points you in the direction of the old woman.
Mhm.
Uh, this lady is ancient by human standards. She's probably pushing 80, 90 years old, which to live to that age in this day and age and environment is fairly impressive.
That's how old I am.
I want, if possible, I want a good buzz by this point because Grumble wants to unwind a little bit.
okay.
I'll try not to be loud, but he is a dwarf.
Well,
She very happily rents you guys out a pair of rooms with 2 beds in them each for 5 silver a night.
And Flame is gonna reach out and give her the 5 silver
And a
that she
tip.
asked for. You tip at the end.
All right, so she takes it. She happily welcomes you into her home. It's dark. It's kind of musty. Smells faintly of like herbs. Um, you're not sure, but you think she might be some kind of witch
Mm.
because she does have several like unusually jarred things in her house.
Cool.
But she doesn't cause you any issues. She leaves you guys to what you're doing. As long as you leave her be, she'll leave you be pretty much.
Yeah.
And that is where we will end it for tonight because it's nearly time and I have to go put the kiddo to bed.
Sounds good.
yay.
Cool, man.
All right,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
mark that day down.
Yeah.
By the way, keep a